Hi there, welcome to Let's Get to Cookin'. I'm Latina and I was going to show you today how to make a simple nut crust. We're going to use walnuts, pecans, and pistachios. So we're going to need parchment paper that's cut out to the base of your tin, your little pastry tin. And then you're going to need some walnuts. I've already started. Alexa, stop. That is my 1 hour timer for my Cliff Flu tea that I'm making. It had to sit and rest for an hour. Okay, so back to the nut crust. We need 2.5 cups of walnuts, pecans, and pistachio mix. So I have 1 cup of walnuts, I have 1 cup of pecans, and I'm gonna use a 1/2 cup of pistachios. All right. So you're just gonna mix this up a little bit. This is my new KitchenAid mixer and I love it. It is so deluxe. Anyway, put this over here. Okay, so we have all our nuts, 2.5 cups. We're gonna mix this up. We're gonna pulse it. I'm gonna pulse it a little bit first. Get it to where it's not completely grinded, but almost. And then we're gonna add, let's see, 2 tablespoons of sweetener, and I'm gonna use monk fruit sugar. You can use brown sugar if you'd like. Of course, you can use granulated sugar, but I prefer you to use a brown sugar or monk fruit sugar, which is especially for diabetics. All right, so 2 cups of that sugar. I'm sorry, not 2 cups, 2 tablespoons, excuse me. 2 tablespoons of sweetener. And then you want to get a pinch of salt. I like to use kosher salt. Kosher salt. I like to use kosher salt, iodized sea salt. I like to use iodized sea salt for baking. So just get a pinch of salt and put that in there. All right. Then you're gonna mix that up again. Oh wait, hang on a second. I need 2 tablespoons of butter. I was trying to melt it a little bit. It's got a little melted, but it's not melted. It needs to be melted. Okay, so let me get my little melting pot. I like to use, I stole this from my kid when she was little. She had a little cooking set, and I took that one. Saved it. It's perfect for like melting tiny little portions for like your chocolates and things like that. And we're gonna be quick. I'll just use a little bit of this burner. Okay, so I'm just gonna melt that a little bit. All right. That'll be melted in just a second. All right, while that's melting, let's come over here and get this on a low. Just like that. All the dry ingredients, the sugar and the pinch of salt and the walnuts, pecans and pistachios together. Okay. Take a look at this. That's the thing with it's like some of it gets grinded up more than others, but anyway, you still need a good little grind on that before you put the butter in. Check this butter. Practically melted. Just wanna pop it apart. There we go. Just mashing the rest of it up in there so it's not too hot. There. Butter smells so good. I used to eat popcorn. My favorite part was the butter. All right, so this is melted. Make sure it's not too hot. It's not too hot. Slightly warm. We're gonna grind this up a little bit more. We're gonna grind this up a little bit more before we add the butter, the melted butter. Okay, now we're gonna add the warm butter. Actually, this thing is so cool. I forget how cool it is. Let's just kind of take out this little thing right here. And that way you could slowly put in your liquid while you go. I think that should do it. Let's check it. One last pulse. Should be perfect. I think this is perfect. Ooh, this looks great. I mean, I think this is great. Let me just do it a little bit more. This is so great. This is so great. Okay, now, yes. All right, so you got yourself a nut crust. So what you want to do now is you have parchment paper that has lined your little tart pan. Okay. Now I think we don't need to put any butter or anything because there's butter in there. Butter on the sides. Okay, so we're gonna put butter on the sides of the tart pan. So grab some butter. So you know these pans, like, it comes apart, you know, so you can take out that part and just melt, or just put butter on the sides. Actually, I'm just gonna take off a chunk. All right, so I don't really need this much, but I'm just giving myself a little pat of butter so I can melt the sides, or so I can butter the sides of the tart pan. Try to get it, push it down so you can get it into the grooves. All right, that's plenty. Probably too much, but you can just like wipe off the excess. No big deal. All right. All right, so here we are. Butter the sides. I'm making a mess. Okay, so the sides are buttered, like over buttered. And then we have your parchment paper that's gonna go, insert that. And then you're gonna get this beautiful nut crust that you have just assembled together quite easily. I'm just gonna get some in my hand and start putting it in here. Okay, so start patting it down. Moving it. You're basically going to mold your nut crust that you just made into the pan that you have. You're gonna mold it up and down the bottom and the sides. It may take a little bit of time. You just have to keep pressing, but it is moldable. If that's a word. Just keep distributing from the center on outward until you can get all the way up the sides, and just keep pressing down, trying to get the air out. It's a good workout, actually. Works like it's almost like working the upper chest area around your collarbones and things. your chest bone. I can feel like when you press down, that's where it's like the pressure. Work out while you cook. I'm down. All right, so it's coming together. Be careful when you lift it because of the bottom, but we're just gonna keep going, and I'm gonna put some more of this beautiful pie crust. Anybody can make this. It's super easy. And this is like, if you want to do a vegan style one, you don't have to use butter, of course. You can use your butter substitute. You know, palm oil, or I'm guessing there's a really good, like, you know, vegetable shortening that you can use. Or if you just don't want to do vegan and you want to just use a different type of butter substitute, you can just use that as well. So, but for small amounts of butter like this, for me, I don't mind. And it's the holiday too. A little butter goes a long way. I mean, this is like the perfect crust too. It gets brown and crispy, and it's like lightly toasted, flavored, and it has like a good, just the right amount of sugar. Sugar substitute. We use monk fruit, which I think is better. It's so much better for you guys. Like, I've heard about monk fruit back in the day, and I was just like, oh, I've heard about it, but you know, for that particular sweetener, I just never, like, I had to, like, literally, my friend Terry, when I did the first episode, when she was telling me about monk fruit, when we did the first episode of Let's Get to Cookin', and she was like, I use that all the time, and I was like, you know what, let me go out and get some monk fruit. This is ridiculous. And then after she, like, got me hip to it even more, that's when I, like, got off my butt and actually, instead of just hearing about it, actually tried it. And I was like, I should have been doing this years ago, but it's okay. You live and you learn. All right, I'm just working up the sides here and just like forming my base. You can kind of like judge like the bottom of how thick you want it. As far as the sides are concerned, I'm probably gonna use like almost all of this mixture, and then you can save a little bit extra and put it in the fridge and use it for like when you like want to eat some ice cream or some kind of, you know, coconut ice cream if you like, or there's all different kinds of ice creams out there. So just anything like that kind of dessert, and put some fresh fruit with it, and then top it with this little nut crust or granules or whatever you want to call it. Oh my gosh, it's so versatile and so delicious. All right, simple. You don't need flour for everything. Flour is essential in some recipes, but you don't need it for everything. To me, my husband started making this nut crust because he makes these wonderful chocolate ganache desserts with like the layers, and you know, it's fantastic. But he started making these, and we were just like, we kind of like, this is our go-to now, using nut crust. This is like what we do. All right, I should have went live with this, live, but I am taping it. I'm taping it live, so maybe I won't like edit. We'll just like, we'll call it freestyle. I won't edit it. All right, I'm just pinching and getting all the sides like even as possible, and as enough of the crust mixture. I want to show you what the mixture looks like right now. I should have showed you earlier, but let me show you real quick before I use it all. Look at that mixture. You see? That's why you add the butter last. And then that's the texture you want. It's almost like a, look at that. It's a light fluffy texture. but the butter makes it adhere together really nicely. And then you get that golden crispy brown crust, because what you're going to do is you're going to put this in the oven. What is the temperature of the oven that you put this in? Is it 350, right? For like 8, and just to do the crust, right? So about 18-20 minutes at 350 in the oven, because you're gonna.
I used the little pot to push it down too.
Okay.
You got it all in there just to smooth it out.
Right. You mean the cast iron skillet?
Huh?
You mean the cast iron skillet?
A little melting.
Oh, my little melting pot? Okay. See, that thing comes in handy. Toys are actually when toys become utensils. I think I'm going to use pretty much all of this. You have these like tiny little tart pans too. You can put them in. So cute. Okay. I'm trying to get the sides nice and full. I guess I'm going to use all of this. I think this, I'm guessing by my eyesight that this is like a 6-inch pan, tart pan. And so 2.5 cups of whatever combination of nuts you would like to use. I mean, maybe this might taste good with macadamias. I never tried that as for a nut crust. I should try that for Christmas. Do something with macadamias, make a nut crust out of those. But I mean, these are like safe nuts to eat as far as my book is concerned, that I like to go by with my fruits and vegetables, and which ones are not toxic and that are better for me. So that's why I use pistachios, that's why I use walnuts, and that's why I use pecans. As opposed to peanuts or cashews or almonds. Well, almonds are okay, but I'm just allergic to those personally. That's why I don't really cook with almond flours too, because I'm allergic. Let's get that little melting pan. See if we can use it to help press down some more. All right, here's that guy. Where is he? Here he is. Okay. Okay, we're gonna just press down. If you have any kind of thing with like a metal surface or any kind of ceramic surface or anything like that that's smooth and won't stick, just press down and try to smooth out your bottom layer, and then the sides will come up even more. And you can kind of use your hand. I know you probably can't see me, but I'm just like placing my finger, let me show you, like this over those parts as I go by it, just so I can like stay flat as I press down, as you press the bottom part of this down on the sides, and just like keep your finger there to make sure it stays flat and molded just perfectly for you, or as perfect as you can get it. Don't worry, it will be great. This is like, to me, it looks like about a 1/2 inch. Well, no, sorry, not a 1/2 inch. About a 1/4 inch thickness, maybe, as far as the sides are concerned. Feels like it's about a 1/4 inch thickness. Okay. Okay, what's that timer for? That must be for the duck home feed, because we are comb feeding some duck as well as just crisping it up. Duck breast on the stove. Cause my bad, I bought 2 packages of duck, which I thought were 2 pieces of duck in 1 pack. But apparently I bought 2 duck breast in 1 pack, and I bought leg and thigh duck in another pack. So my husband was
15 minutes and they're done.
happily surprised to be able to make comfy today as well. Say what, babe? Say what, babe?
I said 15 minutes will be done and you can have the oven.
I can have the oven in 15 minutes. I can have the oven in 15 minutes. Thank you, darling. Why, thank you, darling. Just a goofball at heart. Honesty. Alright, this looks pretty good. I'm pretty pleased. So you're gonna put this in the oven at 350. That's when I can have the oven. I'm gonna put this guy in, and he's gonna go for about 18-20 minutes. Okay? Okay. This is like really helpful in pressing this down. I'm getting this pretty flat on the
I'm so great for you.
Huh?
I'm so great for you.
Who said that?
You said that to your sister.
I did?
Yeah. I love you, sis. Happy Thanksgiving. I am so great for you.
Oh, grateful. Grateful for you.
I love you, man.
Oh, my bad. I was like, who put that? I'm great for you. Alright, so it's kind of not perfect because I'm done with pressing. But here you go. It's pretty good. We're going to put that in the oven for 350. We're going to put this in the oven for 350 degrees for 18-20 minutes. I get the oven 15 minutes. Be careful because of the bottom. All right. He's going to rest there.
Okay.
Sorry?
Shall I make a
Shall I
ganache?
make a noise? You shall make a noise.
Teach people how to make coconut milk and that.
Let's do it. Would you guys like to learn how to make a coconut chocolate ganache pie with a nut crust? Because that is quite divine. Let me tell you. You make it with coconut milk. Yeah, we should. Why not? It's Thanksgiving. We're grateful for you. So all these things are little great things and tips and tricks for you. And hopefully you'll just keep subscribing and liking my page so we can get it up and going, guys. I need your help. And that way I can continue to do this for you. We can continue to cook together, and we can continue to make some healthier things, some tasty, beautiful, healthier options, you know? All right.